Indoors, Chase Field on a gorgeous weekend downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Certainly warm, but warm inside with this team in the heat of a pennant race. The Diamondbacks going toe-to-toe with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and certainly glad to have you with us. This is game 2 of a 3-game set, and what does it all mean? Well, the Diamondbacks trying to put a little bit more heat on the San Francisco Giants. 4.5 games back, of course, have been on top of the National League West on occasion in the month of June, looking to get back there here in the month of July. Welcome back to the ballpark, everyone. You know the Hall of Famer Joe Garagiola. My name is Darren Sutton, and Joe and I are glad you're spending this evening with us. Joe, early on, both these teams had better be on edge because a game and a tone for a game can be set maybe in the game's first inning, and it may be defensively, as Matt Kemp showed us last night.
Oh, last night. It's a textbook play when you look at it. Watch him set himself up. He's got that ball right now in his sights. Now look at him. He backs up, comes running in, and he's got great momentum. You can see it turned him around, and he just does nick him. Watch him. Young outfielders, that's the way you do it. And I'll tell you what, they just did get him. Bloomquist was really close to there, but they got him.
So instead of it being 1-0 Diamondbacks, there was no score on the scoreboard. The Dodgers jumped out to a 6-0 lead, and you thought, not again. These Diamondbacks can't do it again. Well, they did. They climbed back into the ball game, interestingly enough. And I ask you this, how can a team that doesn't go 1-9 so dangerous with their offense, how do they continue to keep the pressure on late in games?
I tell you what, this ball club has shown me one big thing, that the game, as my friend Yogi would say, is never over till it's over, because they go into the 8th, 9th inning, they don't even look at the scoreboard, and that's how you win games. The other club doesn't lose them, you win them.
And so the Diamondbacks keeping their foot on the gas. They ended up scoring 4 runs. Unlikely heroes like Xavier Nady, too.
Oh, I tell you, they're getting help from everywhere. You can't just count on one guy and pitch around him, because last night Nady did it.
All right, certainly glad to have you with us. And when we come back, we'll talk bullpen, relief pitching. A couple of guys stuck in the middle trying to find their way. That was one of the keys in last night's loss to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Jody will join us, then Joe and I have the call on a Saturday night in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. We are really glad you invited us into your home. Baseball brought to you by Gila River Casinos. Play slots with your Players Club card at any Gila River Casino. You can win $2,000 to $20,000 right away. Right now, go to Jack in the Box, where for a limited time, Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. Also, Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats with no blackout dates.
Chase Field, downtown Phoenix, getting you set for Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. Jody Jackson with you on the field. And last night, yes, the Dodgers were up by the score of 4-0. But the D-backs, we've seen them come back. They needed to keep it right there. It's been a growing concern, though, middle relief. And the bullpen, in general, keeping it there, locking it down, so to speak. Aaron Heilman giving up 2 runs yesterday. Good thing Baxter's not in the bullpen, but let's look at the numbers on a serious note. April and May, and the discrepancy between June and what we have in July so far, the difference is 2 runs. And yes, JJ puts on the DL right now, David Hernandez, they have been so good. But for Kirk Gibson, and it's our Geico quote of the game, it's getting it to 8 and 9. That's the issue right now.
Assuming JJ comes back and he's healthy with David, and we have that gap between the starters and between the relievers. We have to do a better job of that. You have to lock people down. If you're down by 2 or 3 runs, you got to keep it right there. If you're up by 3 runs, you virtually have to keep it there. 2, maybe you got a run to play with or whatever. We've got to get to 8 and 9.
Well, tonight, the makings of a great pitching matchup. Ian Kennedy looking for win number 10 against Hiroki Kuroda. He's had problems getting run support from his Dodgers offense. Hopefully, those problems continue tonight for him and the Dodgers. Stay with us. First pitch coming up.
Here at Chase Field, Ian Kennedy has completed his warm-up tosses. Don Mattingly, kind of a baptism by fire in his first year, taking over for Joe Torre. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Got a lot of speed at the top, not the numbers they want. Tony Gwynn and Rafael Furcal, 1 and 2. The thump is in the middle right there with Ethier and Kemp, a couple of all-stars. Juan Rivera homered in his Dodgers debut yesterday. Steady Aaron Miles. Juan Uribe, a down year after a world championship year last year. Deanna Navarro is the catcher, and Hiroki Kuroda, all facing Ian Kennedy. Kennedy goes to work, and he does so for the 20th start of the season, looking to earn victory number 10. It's been a near all-star year for Kennedy as well, one step outside of the game. Could have been deserving in being part of the Midsummer Classic, no doubt. He fires strike one at Tony Gwynn Jr.
Boy, you always like to see that, the first pitch being a strike.
He is a big-time strike thrower. He has taken advantage this year of the fastball. You know, for a guy who doesn't throw 95, he throws a lot of fastballs. He believes in that pitch.
If you believe in your defense, you'll use your fastball.
Gwynn fights that one off, and back to the screen it goes. Gwynn this year has started to move that average in a northward direction. He started very slow, was hitting 188 first 40 or so games of the season. And since early June, late May, hitting over 300 with a high on base. So the walks are up. Patience he has shown quite a bit. Patience like that. Good take.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. He laid off that one. You know, that was the Seaver theory. The Seaver theory was a simple one. You can't pitch to the hitter's weakness. You pitch to your strength.
2-2 the count. Gwynn into left field. That one goes. Chasing Gerardo Parra back. And the Venezuelan-born left-hander over, under, and out as he puts it away. David Robleski brings you the defense, and his associates, Parra, Young, Upton, Blum, Drew, Johnson, and Allen. And behind the plate, Miguel Montero catches Ian Kennedy. And Jeff Blum gets a chance to have his first start as an Arizona Diamondback. And in the year 2011, so does Brandon Allen. So a couple of different looks for Arizona. Big swing and a miss. Rafael Furcal 0-1 the count. Good to see Blum out there, physically fit enough to play at the third base position. 544 career starts at third, but he started everywhere. As that one is just off the plate. 1-1 the count. To Furcal. Boy, what a down year it's been for Rafael Furcal, battling injuries, hitting just 175.
That's really strange country for him, man.
I mean, he's hit 300 before. As you well know, Joe, he's usually out there used to stealing bases, creating havoc on the base paths.
He's one of those guys takes up 10 minutes of your meeting.
And when he gets on, he splits the attention of the pitcher, too. But that time he's done. There's what we're talking about. The belief in a fastball, and that last one was what? 91, 92 miles an hour. Blew him away with it.
And he spots it well. I mean, it's how you get there. You can see he swung right under that pitch. He's believing in his defense. He believes in his stuff. He's got an air of confidence he didn't have earlier, and you can understand that. He wasn't sure he was going to make it.
There's a firm step when he feels that confidence. You can see how he carries himself out on the bump. Andre Ethier, who earlier this year had a 30-game hitting streak. He was here, back home, if you will, as an all-star, born and raised in this part of the world. Began his career as an Oakland Athletic. Maybe many people might forget that as he takes outside. 2-0 the count to Ethier. Well, there's no denying there are two elite players in the middle of this Dodgers order with Ethier and Kemp.
He's got him hitting in the right spot, 2, 3rd, and 4th.
There's that fastball again, and he beat him on 2-0. He just beat Andre Ethier with a fastball right down the middle. You bet he believes in that pitch. Hiroki Kuroda ready to roll against the Diamondbacks. A scoreless top half. Chase Field, downtown Phoenix, Arizona, and the Diamondbacks ready to take advantage of this offensive haven that is their home ballpark under the watchful eye of skipper Kirk Gibson, climbing closer to a career 500 manager, including the struggles last year. Southwest Airlines tells you Kelly Johnson, Stephen Drew, and Justin Upton hit 1, 2, and 3. Chris Young, Miguel Montero with switch hitter Jeff Blum behind him. It's Brandon Allen, Gerardo Parra, who's really on a roll, and Ian Kennedy batting ninth. 36-year-old right-hander Hiroki Kuroda. Now, he may have a 6-10 record, which tells you wins and losses don't tell anything close to the entire story. He's pitched very well this year.
He has pitched well, and it reminds you so much of most Japanese pitchers with his windup. He's got a little bit of a hesitation in his pitch, not like Kershaw of last night, but it's one of those funky moves that if you're not careful, he'll catch you between them and he'll throw you a strike.
Signed with the Dodgers as a free agent back in 2007, and he misses, grabs the outside corner. Deliberate call by Laz Diaz. 0-1 the count to Kelly Johnson. You and I were talking on the drive in. Kelly's starting to piece things together as that one is outside.
Well, you talked about averages before. There's no sense worrying about his average. It's the way he's swinging the bat. Right now, he is swinging it well.
Wants a guy like Johnson does, Kuroda, to roll the ball over when he's on his game, pull a pitch down and away. Not interested in doing that. 2-1 the count. And he's swinging it with power. In his last 7 games, he's got 7 hits. 3 of them doubles, 2 of them homers.
Makes a difference.
That one heading in toward that corner it goes, toward the triangle, rolls up against the wall. Kelly Johnson picking him up, putting him down, and for Kelly. It's a leadoff double. That's 19 two-baggers this year. Yet another hit, yet another extra base hit for Kelly.
A good compact swing. Timing is perfect. You see where that ball was hit. He knows he's got an extra base hit. He's thinking triple, but he stops at second.
So Kelly Johnson with 19 doubles. Here is Stephen Drew. Now, whatever Kelly's been eating for breakfast, Stephen Drew might want to take a bite or two because Stephen is scuffling. And we've gotten used to the streaking Drew, and you come to expect, folks at home and Joe, you expect a guy like this at any point to catch fire.
He's got too good a swing to be hitting what he is. I mean, he's been striking out more than usual, although you look at the way the defense in the infield is playing, and they're deep at first and second. Third baseman Uribe is way in, almost like he's looking for a bunt. Why, I don't know.
Well, you're right. He's way in on the cut of the grass. Stephen takes inside. A little bit more on the man in scoring position, Kelly Johnson. We bring Jody Jackson in. Jody?
Well, Darren, I talked to Kelly Johnson today about being in that leadoff spot. He said, yeah, I like mixing it up when the 2-hole has been so unkind. And he knew the numbers, at least pretty close. He thought career 230 hitter in that 2 spot. It's actually 243, 264 in the leadoff spot. So not a big difference career-wise, but this year just hitting 181 in that 2 spot.
That is lifted into left field. Kelly Johnson batting in that 2 spot. Has to head back and tag up. Stephen Drew took a shot at the opposite field. Thank you, Jody.
Boy, I'll tell you, that ball was curving towards Tony Gwynn, and he's got pretty good speed out there. He made a good play. It looked like he was going to end up fielding the gap ball. He's running hard, and he makes the catch, and Kelly Johnson was well around second base, heading for third. He had to get back in a hurry.
Tony Jr. is a great outfielder out there. That's one thing that when he has struggled offensively that has kept him employed. He could play center field if he was on a lot of other clubs. It's just that Matt Kemp more comfortable out there. You could argue that Gwynn's a better center fielder than Kemp is. Here is Justin Upton with a pitch away.
I tell you, Darren, I'm going to go on record as saying I hate the saying that's not a productive out. That was almost a 2-base hit.
Absolutely.
I mean, if he hits a ground ball to the second baseman, which you know is going to be an easy out, is that a productive out because the man goes from second to third? First inning, you got to knock him in, not move him over.
That one is low. 2-0 the count to Justin Upton.
to finish that thought, I'll tell you what, if a ground ball to the second baseman was a productive out, I made a gazillion of them.
Did you now?
Yeah, oh yeah. Double headers, single games, whatever. Nice ground ball. It's like my first pitch in the All-Star game.
Oh,
they had the radar gun on me. They had the radar gun on me. Don't go there.
You were throwing hard then.
Hard. 35 miles an hour.
Nice. They wouldn't even get you on the camera flash with that. Upton takes a hanging breaking ball, but it's a strike. 2-1 the count. Yeah, you wouldn't even get a picture in the mail with the ticket on there at 35.
No, I wouldn't.
That's all right.
That's all right. Well, you know, I did the best I could. One bounce was out.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Oh, what a night. What a night. And the kiss cam. Hey.
2-1 the count. The count is 2-2. Justin Upton, the all-star. We're talking about your lovely wife, Audrey. They found you two guys. Is that the case?
Well, they found us. There we are. Look at this. Watch it. Oh.
Boy, the crowd really roaring.
Oh, that was such a kick. I got to tell you, man. That was.
Well, as someone who was sitting in the seats as a fan that night, it was a kick to have you be such a big part of it. You deserve to be.
Well, I don't know if I deserve it, but I sure thank the Diamondbacks. It was one of the happiest nights of my life, and the way things have been going the last couple of years, it really perked me up.
2-2 the count. Waves at a breaking ball down and away. So a double, but then a line out and a strikeout. Upton goes down on strikes for the 74th time this year.
Watch where this pitch goes now. It's not close to a strike. You always get the hitter out with the pitch that's the illusion of a strike. It looks like a strike, but it's not. That's the good pitcher.
Upton talking with himself. He was frustrated after he took batting practice today. Finished his round, was kind of in his own head early on, so we'll see where the rest of the night takes him. High and away. 1-0 the count to Chris Young, Diamondback center fielder.
I'll tell you, between Young and Upton, they have been hitting the ball hard. Upton hit that ball very hard last night. I mean, he hit it right on the screws.
Boy, just right to Kemp. He had to come in and get that line drive. Had an RBI. The play you talked about in the open had an RBI taken away that would have been the first RBI of the year or of the night with Kemp's throw to the plate.
Instead of that, he gets a double play.
That's exactly right. Now let's see if Arizona can set the tone this time offensively in this ball game. And strike first, a little number back to the mound. Kuroda hurries in, makes the play, and in time for the out. So Arizona comes up empty. A leadoff double by Kelly Johnson. Kelly is stranded. Facebook during today's game. Receive a coupon for huge savings, fries, fresh food, famous low prices. Kia Motors. Learn more. Visit phskia.com. And by Colorado. Have your best summer vacation ever in Colorado. Plan and book today at colorado.com. Slugger Matt Kemp takes a fastball on the inside part of the plate. 0-1 the count to the man out of Midwest City, Oklahoma, where he was a heck of a high school basketball player. Everyone thought that he'd be on his way playing college basketball somewhere. Baseball was his choice, and he admits, I'm still raw, still learning.
He learns pretty well.
You had a chance to catch up with him during the All-Star game, didn't you?
I visited with him, yeah. He's a free spirit, let's put it that way. He enjoys the game. I said, boy, you have fun playing, don't you? And home run derby and all that.
Oh, speaking of home run derby, deep center field. Kemp crosses it. Kemp knocks it out of here. And that's why he struggled in the home run derby, because the majority of his home runs are to that part of the ballpark, the big part. 1-0.
Looked like a low fastball. And that's why he's batting number 4.
24 home runs. Here's the pitches.
Fastball. Right down the middle of strike. Outside. Outside again. And boy, he whacks that one in. Ian Kennedy knew immediately.
Over the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Again for Kemp, 24 home runs, 72 runs batted in. He leads his team in batting average and home runs and stolen bases as well.
It's a one-man franchise. Of course, you look at the average of the Dodgers, it doesn't take much to lead in all those departments.
The lights are shining brightly on Kemp this year, and he's earned them. Out front of a good changeup from Kennedy. Now the key for Kennedy, look, we talked about it an inning ago. He doesn't all of a sudden stop believing in his fastball because one's hit out of here.
That's right. It's how you recoup, how you come back. He's varied the pitch, velocity and location. That's it. That's pitching.
14th home run allowed by Ian this year. Curveball into the dirt. Miguel went out and blocked it up. 2-2 the count. Juan Rivera was an all-star break acquisition from Toronto by the Dodgers. He homered in his first Dodger game last night, was 2 for 4. Disinterested in that curveball that misses outside. The count is full.
Lance Diaz, the plate umpire, very active behind that plate. I'll tell you, he'll be moving around. He talks to you. He called the pitches. We could hear him put up 3-2 as the pitch was made.
There's that fastball on a good pitch. First chance for Jeff Blum. On across to the newbie first baseman as well, at least in 2011, Brandon Allen. And Juan Rivera is erased. So put me behind the plate with Miguel Montero. I know you speak with Miguel quite frequently when you come to the ballpark. Are you good with that? You like an umpire that's active behind you like that?
Oh, yeah. I like a guy that you see him walking around and he's scraping the plate and he just stays active. I mean, some of them, it's like watching an oak tree work.
Here's Aaron Miles. I would imagine as a catcher, it keeps your pace of game pretty good, too.
Oh, yeah, and you can talk to him when they talk to you. You know, you say, well, I thought that was a strike. Well, don't think, just catch. It's okay. Say what you want to say, but be in the game.
Aaron Miles, that's a pretty changeup. No balls and 2 strikes to count on the veteran Miles. His finest year was back in 08 with St. Louis. He's well traveled and has contributed everywhere he has gone. He hit .317 in 08. He's nearly there this year.
Now that was a good play by Montero. He shifted over, blocked the ball in the middle of his chest protector. It wasn't going anywhere. I just hate that one-handed grab. Now watch him. He got it on the. He caught it with the glove, but he was just wanting to block it. Does it again.
That's strike 3, and a check swing, one around enough from Miles, and a good-looking curveball. You've got to trust the fact that Miguel's going to keep this with him.
Yeah, I don't like that one-handed grab, although he made a good play. But that glove is so flexible. I mean, it's like a first baseman's mitt.
You know, Montero knows it, and he continues to work on it. He clearly is a work in progress defensively.
Oh, he definitely is. I like him a lot.
And I think what you like about him when you talk with him, and I think we will express the same things that Joe sees, is that he's humble about it. He's willing to work about it. You know, he's willing to put in the time. A guy like Henry Blanco, a great mentor.
That's what you need.
Huge swing, high, flying to right center field. Big blast off the bat of Metcalf, 24 this year. A lot of catching with Miguel Montero. He served as your catcher as you threw out the first pitch at the All-Star game. Again, what was that like?
It was great. It was very emotional for me, Darren. I want to say that. And Hernandez, the kid, I tell you, he's as thoughtful as he is big, and he's a big guy. I really enjoyed meeting him, and of course John Green and his lovely family, because that was such a senseless act in Tucson. But it was draining, but it was a wonderful experience. Wish I could have thrown better.
Well, the man who framed it up as good as he could for you is digging into the batter's box. We enjoyed cheering you, I'll tell you that. I was fortunate enough again just to sit in the masses, sit in the seats and enjoy the festivities in the baseball game. Tried to cheer louder than anybody else, as that one is right back through the box. Base hit into center field. Miguel Montero with a single, and also his assessment of Joe Garagiola's first pitch.
Well, you know what? He made a good pitch. He got a little short, but it was a good pitch. It was funny, you know. It was a great time. He was even funnier when he threw the ball and I give it to him. But you know, Joe, man, he's a great man, baseball man, and I was more than happy to catch the first pitch off him.
Listen, I told him today again. I said it was a 35-mile-an-hour fastball, man. It had to sting you. But he's a happy-go-lucky kid. He's going to be a star in this game, I think.
He's well on his way, isn't he?
Oh, he works very hard, and he listens. He listens, and he'll talk about it. And
yeah, I watch him. You know, initially I think you used to seek him out when you were broadcasting on the Saturdays. Now he comes and finds you.
Well, we talk catching. That's why. He wants to improve. Not that I can help him that much, but if I can pass on some things that he likes, good.
0-1 the count on Jeff Blum as Blum gives that one a ride. Right field, well struck. Blum nearly knocked it out of here. Hustling on around. How about that in his first start as a Diamondback this year? Had a chance to pitch in as a pinch hitter last night. How good does that feel after waiting all that time, recovering from the knee surgery? Jeff Blum is back.
Low fastball, he went down and got it. I mean, last night he swung at the first pitch. Ethier trying to fake the catch like he was going to make it, but it was over his head. It was hit that hard. Now you got to get that base hit to knock in two. That would be the productive hit.
And Brandon Allen was very productive in AAA. He was busy hitting over 300. He had 66 runs batted in 83 games. Pinch hit last night, was called out on a very close call that looked low from the replays. Mentioned to Allen that the call of strike 3 looked low to end the ball game. He said close enough. Yes. So he wasn't about to throw anyone in blue under the bus. He said it without the microphones there. It was close enough. Love that kind of response.
Well, he's smart to know that, hey, umpires are human. They don't run on batteries. And next time, if it's close, he's going to get the opposite call of what he thought it was. Scott Berry, who's on a look-see kind of basis, was the umpire that made the call behind the plate. He's working third base today. He's got to get a bat on the ball because they're going to give us the run.
Yeah, defense is back, as Joe mentioned. Outfield plays from Allen maybe a step or two the other way. Into the dirt it goes, keeping it with him, and the block by Navarro. Yeah, the pitch that Allen said was close enough is this one right here.
It was a delayed call, too. He jumped up and down after the call. He looked like he was beginning an audition for the dance show that's on.
He had like this, a couple of runners on last night. If he would have found a gap somewhere, that ball game last night would have been tied. Well, that's why you saw the emotion. Young man acquired a couple of years back from the Chicago White Sox when Tony Pena, the relief pitcher, was traded to Chicago. Out of the Houston suburbs, and he was a heck of a high school football player. You can tell by his size, a linebacker. Into the dirt, 3-1 the count.
Well, when you see big guys like that as linebackers, if I played football and I had a ball and had one of those big guys come at me, I think I'd hand it off.
Just hand it to him?
To anybody, the first closest guy here.
Well, Allen is that guy. Gerardo Parra waits on deck. The one thing that Allen said that he really honed in on, and he felt in Reno it was important not to swing out of his backside every time, was his patience at the plate. He's showing it right now. Fouls that one off. You see, in Reno this year and in the Pacific Coast League overall, the numbers offensively are somewhat crazy. I mean, they are skewed with regard to home runs and slugging percentage, but it doesn't matter where you play. Whether you're on the moon or in the base of the Grand Canyon, a walk is a walk and patience is patience.
And there's no defense against a walk. That's baseball's gift certificate.
He's on base nearly 430 in AAA. High drive. Brandon Allen, welcome back to Arizona.
Oh, man, did he hit that ball.
Holmes homer, $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. That's the crowd eating out of his hands already.
What a beautiful swing. And he knew it was gone the minute he touched it off. Look at the bench. It's alive. I tell you, this ball club is something. They are worth watching. You just never know where it's going to come from, but lightning's going to strike.
That's what you said in the open, the unlikeliness of the contributions. There aren't elite hitters 1 to 9, but relentless hitters 1 to 9.
Yeah, and Don Baylor, the hitting coach, he's proud of his brood.
Outside, 1-1 the count.
Boy, I'll never forget the look on his face when Willie Moe hit that ball. His eyes got as big as saucers, and today it was a repeat performance.
Into the dirt it goes. Arizona leads it 3-1. Halfway to tacos. Anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with a large drink purchase from 4 to 6 the following day. As that one, a ground ball. Took a bad hop, but staying with it is Rivera. And in time for the out. By the way, the Taco Bell taco truck is here tonight on the plaza, passing out free tacos. Not too late to get in the car and get down here, join this great crowd, and get yourself an extra bonus, a couple of free tacos when you get here.
You know, Darren, that's why it's so important after a guy hits a home run like Kemp did to see what's going to happen with your pitcher. Kennedy just went about his business, got out of it, and here we are. Now they got a 2-run lead.
And a big difference in the 2 homers, right? I mean,
oh.
Kemp's homer was a blast, but the bases were clean. That was a 3-run homer, a couple of runners on in front. Off the plate, Kuroda also is off the mound. Throws it with the tag. Got him right there in the midsection.
Oh, he got him. Maybe a little bit lower. Boy, he went right down on his knees. I don't think it was the midsection. Rang the bell, as they say.
Yeah, maybe just a touch below that belt. As he doubled over, Eric Young's going to go ahead and walk on in with him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So when you get hit like that and the trainer comes out and they're all the same, how do you feel? How do you think you feel?
And it's in moments like that that I know guys like Ian Kennedy and all the men at home are thrilled that we have an Exmo shot of that. Just a good Foxmo shot.
Look at it. Upton just did a joke on him. That's good.
Kelly Johnson takes high and away, 1-0 the count. So he'll go walk it off. That cold sweat will come over his brow, and then he'll pull himself back together. Kelly takes up and away, patiently awaiting. He doubled back in the first inning. My goodness, Brandon Allen.
Oh. I'd say that home run, you'd have chopped that up in singles, he'd lead 2 leagues. I mean, that is a long way.
Well, it reminded me of what we all were able to see on Monday night. I mean, those are the kind of homers being hit by Robinson Cano.
Yeah, but they were laying them right in there.
That's exactly right.
Gives his team the lead. I mean, he knew it the minute he touched it off. And, long way. Show a movie on that one.
A high strike, 3-2 the count. Well, for Allen, as we mentioned, he had hit 18 home runs down in AAA. Last year, he hit just 1 home run in the major leagues when he was up here in the major leagues. Kelly laid on that fastball, so we'll do it again, a full count with 2 outs. He said the one thing that when I was playing, Allen that is, down in AAA, was it just was pressureless baseball. We really had good leadership in Brett Butler, and Butler's been getting a lot of attaboys from Kirk Gibson and the guys he is sending and the way they go about their business. That time Kelly lifts it into left, where Gwynn will find his spot and put it away. But so far, the men that Butler is sending are doing things the right way. It's one thing to play the game the right way. It's another one to hit it like you're right there in the heart of home run derby. Thank you, Bugsy. He looks good to us.
3-1. Jody Jackson out here in the stands. Want to tell you about a fantastic program. It's the Military Hero Program, sponsored by Sanderson Ford. I'm alongside Olivia Ross. And Olivia, your dad, Chief Warrant Officer Donald Ross, is the lucky hero. He won a car and you were there to receive it, right?
Yes, it's pretty exciting. I'm still shocked.
Are you shocked? I mean, a church member nominated your dad, but in your words, tell us why he's deserving of this honor.
I think my dad really deserves it just because, you know, he's done so much to sacrifice for his country, and he spent a lot of time over there doing a Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts type thing, working with the kids over in Iraq, and I just think he really deserved it for everything that he's done.
And he's in Fort Lee, Virginia, right now at military school, right?
Yeah, he's at a military school. He's a Chief Warrant Officer 2, and he's going there to become a Chief Warrant Officer 3, so he'll be back in August.
Well, congratulations. And I guess 2011 Ford Mustang, you look good in that. Are you going to be able to take that for a spin, or you got to wait for Mom and Dad to get back in town?
I do have to wait for Mom and Dad, but I'm hoping they'll let me take it around the block or so.
All right, Olivia, congratulations, and to your dad, Chief Warrant Officer Donald Ross, guys.
Great stuff. Congratulations, Olivia, and to her family, to her father, certainly Sanderson Ford, a part of giving back to those who have sacrificed for us, as Deanna Navarro goes down on strikes. And here is the moment yesterday at Sanderson Ford where the folks gathered to celebrate the military hero of the year, and just a wonderful day. And as you can see, very proud of Dad. Lovely young lady. And that smile, that's a genuine, that's a smile from the heart.
Yes, it is. Very generous of Sanderson Ford, too.
0-1 the count. 0-2 the count. Now here's Ian Kennedy. That bounce back shutdown inning that you'd like to have after your team scores you 3 runs. And it helps when you have 8, 9, and 1. Good evening, Mr. Kuroda, on 3 pitches. So back-to-back strikeouts to start this inning.
And he didn't fool with the curveball. I mean, with the pitcher hitting, you think he'd throw a curveball because pitchers and curveballs don't get along too well. He just stayed right with the fastball and didn't fool around. I mean, there it was. And I think Montero may have stolen one, too.
Good for Miguel.
Oh, yeah. Make a move like that, man, you make a pretty good pickpocket.
Kennedy appears to be fine after the tag at first base. Him in a very unfavorable spot. The way he's pitching, it made him a little bit mad. 0-1 the count. Gwynn flied to left field back in the first inning. Initially a Milwaukee Brewer draft pick out of San Diego State. Second round pick in 2003, right behind Prince Fielder. As that one is low.
You know, Harry Dalton said something one time that really stuck with me. Some pitchers are performers. Others are competitors. Kennedy's a competitor.
A good man one time. Lifted into left field. Brewers GM was Dalton. Gwynn hustling around Parra, right on the money. Well played by Gerardo Parra. Tony Gwynn knew to throw out anchor there. Parra, you talk about scouting and preparing for a series. Parra with a pretty piece of hitting here, but Joe, they talk about an arm like Parra's, don't they?
Always. He not only comes up and gets rid of the ball quickly, he's right on the money. I mean, that's a perfect throw. One hop, you see it all the way. And if he would have tried to go to second base, it would have been nice. The inning would have been over.
Gwynn's got 8 doubles this year, and with a lot of outfielders, probably would have thought that way the entire time. That's the interesting thing about outfield arms. 1-0 the count to Furcal. There are times when the assists go down, you're just not getting the chance to throw guys out because they stop running.
Exactly. That's the Casey Stengel theory.
Swing and a miss at a changeup.
He used to talk about that. He said if he gets a lot of assists, that's because they're running. And if he doesn't get any assists, because he's got a good arm and they know it, and they ain't going to be running. You'd look and say, I guess you're right, Case.
Well, think of the impact.
Oh, sure. Defense.
Outside, 2-1 the count. It's Gwynn who can really run. I mean, from the get-go, was lesser on the effort. He wasn't thinking two the entire time. And in any other case, I think he's already thinking two out of the box.
He's anxious to run right now. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's really a runner's pitch.
Yeah, Tony's got 12 stolen bases. Pitch is low, a sinking fastball. 3-1 the counter for call with Andre Ethier on deck.
He's got something hanging out of his back pocket, Gwynn does. I don't know what it is.
It is his back pocket hanging out.
Back pocket hanging out?
It's the inside, the interior of the pants. There he goes. Popped up. Well, you love that with Kennedy. Team gives you a lead. Guy gets a hit. On 3-1 says hit it as far as you can, Rafael, for a call.
He's not giving in. He is not giving in.
Count is full. Gwynn will be gone now. For call struck out swinging on a fastball away back in the first inning.
That's the pocket. He's going to freeze him is what he's going to do. Hold that ball long enough to take the spring out of his legs if at all possible.
Runner goes, popped up. Again, went right after him with a fastball. Stephen Drew puts it to bed. We roll on to the bottom half of inning number 3. Kennedy and the Diamondbacks up by a pair. Are in town for a 4-game series starting Monday. Get to all the games next week for as low as $8. Then enjoy the value items like hot dogs or corn dogs, popcorn for $1.50, and 14 ounces of beer just $4. I discovered that at the All-Star game. D-backs baseball is affordable, family, and it's fun all summer long. For tickets, 602-462-4784 or visit dbacks.com/value. We'll see you here when the Brew Crew comes to town. One of baseball's other really good stories this year, along with the Arizona Diamondbacks. But Milwaukee in the same division with, well, a team that's kind of stealing all the headlines as far as surprising. That's the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh,
one of your old clubs.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even come close.
Well, they haven't either for nearly 2 decades.
Well, I was there in the first rotten decade. Lost 112 games out of 154.
Ooh.
Could that be possible? I mean, it was brutal going out there. You make jokes about it. People walking across the field during play, you know, say, "Hey, lady, I'm hitting. I saw you hit. You won't hurt me." You know, that kind of stuff.
Steven juices that one into right center field towards the swimming pool. Off the wall. He's hustling the entire time, looking for three. The throw, the tag, out. Got the bounce off the middle part of the wall out there in front of the pool. Played nicely by the Dodgers. It's a double, but he is gunned down trying to stretch it into a triple.
Ethier gets it back in a hurry, gets the relay man to throw, and boom, he's an easy out. You know, great work by the umpires. Laz Diaz, who's behind the plate, called that play. And the first base umpire, who was Manny Gonzalez, he was covering the plate. Should have been a wild throw or get by the third baseman, and he'd have to make the call.
There's Laz, as you said, Joe.
Oh, he was right on top of it. Right on top of it.
0-2 the count with a couple of fastballs. I think that's something by the casual fan, or a lot of fans, especially when you come to a ball game. Watch these umpires, as Joe said, with balls that go to the outfield, how they rotate.
Some of them hustle, and other guys just turn around like they're a barber pole.
Well, you've already pointed out Laz as not being one of those umpires.
Oh, no. No grass going to grow under his feet. I tell you, he was all over that play. And like Doug Harvey used to always say, don't call it like you're halfway sure. Call it like you're positive.
Outside of Justin Upton, 2-2 the count. The San Diego Padres have hung a 3 spot on the San Francisco Giants. That game's down the top of the second. San Diego 3, San Francisco nothing. Barry Zito touched up. Outside with that one.
Kirk Gibson really had it right. He said, all right, first half is over. Now we got to go out and get this thing, meaning the pennant. I mean, every game counts even more because your time is running out.
Kind of hangs around as Upton with a protection swing there. And Gibson was saying, and I think this is in part what you're talking about, that what area do the Diamondbacks need to improve upon? Gibson said every area.
He makes no bones about how he feels. I mean, he's just so intense. And he's got the ball club believing it. We got to go out and get this thing.
Outside corner with a fastball. Upton was frustrated with the breaking balls back in his first at bat. This time, Kuroda, I don't know if he threw him a single breaking ball, all fastballs.
Looked like it caught the corner. Can't tell from this angle, of course. Looks that way on television, but depends on where your camera is.
Yeah, just a little bit off to the left side of center field is where our home plate camera that shoots to home plate is. And 1-0 the count. Chris Young grounded out back in the first inning and lays off of that one. Now, the Diamondbacks in scoring these runs have done something only because of the Dodgers and their 5-game winning streak. In their 5-game winning streak, the LA pitching staff had allowed 1 earned run, all told. Now, that's not per game, Joe. That's all told.
All told, yeah.
They haven't been hitting much. What do you think of Clayton Kershaw last night?
I mean, for a young guy, he throws hard. Look at him.
2-2. He looks like a baby, doesn't he?
Oh, you take a good look at him. He comes to the ballpark. They got to card him.
Well, he's just above being legal anyway, 23.
He really threw hard. Chew that bubble gum. I like it. Forget that tobacco.
The 2-2. Fastballs. I'll tell you, fastballs to both Upton and Young to put them away. Drew doubled but was gunned out. 3-1 is the score. Here and Kemp to get things going. By the way, tonight's text poll is presented by your local Valley Kia retailers. By texting to vote, you consent to receive a message from Kia Voters of America. Do you think the Dodgers and their struggles off the field, especially regarding finances, have any effect on the players at all? A for yes, 36929. B for no, 36929.
Hey, I could join AAA and not have enough A's.
You think so?
Oh.
Expound, please, Mr. Garagiola.
Well, you got to know it's affecting the ball club. I mean, the front office has got to be in disarray. You don't know who your boss. They've had 3 CEOs, I think, in the last couple of months. And then, you know, you're trying to sign a contract or whatever, and they're saying, well, Mrs. McCourt's going to get $650,000 a month living expenses. Where's she going to live, on the moon?
2-0 the count, and I also think as that one is belted into right center field, Young is tracking. He's got room. You know what? Let's go down in there and listen to Jamie Carroll, kind of a veteran leader for these Dodgers, on that subject that Joe's talking about, trying to separate off the field and in the locker room. Here's Jamie.
I just think there's so much going on the field for us. You know, so much to think about here that, you know, you don't really even put it into your mind. It's a situation where, honestly, it's not even in our control. So we have more important things as far as us immediately, as far as being on the field, that it's really easy to separate because the fact that there's nothing we can do about it.
And I think that might be, as you said, a little bit of wishful thinking.
A lot of wishful thinking. I mean, that was a UN answer. That was a very diplomatic answer. And he's got to manage Don Mattingly with all that going on. Terrible situation. That and the Mets.
Well, and when you talk about it, for me, having my playpen be Dodger Stadium as a child, going around that ballpark, and that's where I really learned the game. I think for the franchise itself and their fans is why you have the most compassion. I think a lot of energy is more directed towards feeling bad for the franchise, its history, and its fans.
You can go back to the O'Malley days. They were there a long time, so it's just a tough situation.
Outside, 2-2 the count. So many great moments, so many great historical moments, breaking baseball's color barrier. Brooklyn Dodgers organization. Into the dirt it goes. 3-2 the count to Kemp. He's being careful.
You got to be careful with this guy. Boy, he'll light you up in a minute.
He took a fastball and just crushed it. Didn't try to pull it. Hit it to the big part of the ballpark. Boy, good pitch. Sailed in. Now, whether that was his intent to run it there, that was a changeup, and it fooled Kemp badly.
He was hoping to foul that pitch off, is what he was hoping. Look at him pull his arms in, trying to just get a piece of it to stay alive. If he'd have hit that ball, he wouldn't have done much with it.
You know you've done your job as a pitcher when a right-handed hitter takes a big giant swing and turns and looks over his left shoulder to see where the catcher caught it. That's how far out front he was. He didn't turn around and look back over the right shoulder. He looked all the way over his left shoulder to see that.
It was easier. He turned that way.
That was definitely a great pitch. Again, whether he intended to run it in, I'm not sure. That one ran in. A changeup. He's kind of having it dive. It almost looks like a, bear with me here, folks, almost kind of has the run of a Brandon Webb sinker. That's where that changeup's going today. 1-1 the count.
The question is he pitching off the mound or flat ground?
No, I know, boy, that's what we saw, unfortunately, over the last couple of years, and Webb shut down permanently this year for Texas as well. It's been a shame. Is that fastball? Well, maybe it is where he intends to throw, because he threw a fastball in that same spot as he was throwing the changeup. 1-2 the count.
Here's a good look at it. I didn't get in quite as much as the one he threw to Kemp.
1-2 the count on Juan Rivera. 32 years old, Venezuelan born. Slightly closed stance, curveball doesn't.
You know, you hear pitchers a lot talk about, well, you got to pitch down. You got to pitch down. Keep the ball in the ballpark, pitch down. Most pitchers that I remember, and most pitchers that it was in and out. You pitch in and out. And this is what Kennedy is doing. He's staying in. And as we look at Nagy checking with his pitcher, I mean, this guy's silent saying, but he knows what he's doing.
Oh, and these two, by the way, pitcher and pitching coach, starting in spring training, were in lockstep. Kennedy thinks a lot like Nagy did when he pitched. You know, guys with not the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, very mechanically oriented, but then they don't take those thoughts on the mound. They do their work on the bullpen. It was interesting seeing them work a lot of early mornings at Salt River Fields. And the work is paid off nicely. Kennedy cleans things up. Student and teacher in lockstep. Field 3-1 is the score. Our AT&T trivia question. I told you folks are going to like this one. I hope so anyway. Who are the only two Dodgers to hit 20 home runs and steal 20 bases by the All-Star break? 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases by the All-Star break. Good to have Sergio Romo here with us at the ballpark. Surprised to see him wearing Dodgers gear. A whole Dodger family. They've got to know that. We think we know one of the guys, right? I mean, he's the guy that is having a great year, stealing bases, hitting homers, was an all-star. I think we know one of them. I think the other one is a guy who's been his mentor this season. Oh, boy.
I heard him say, ow.
Hops right up. Doesn't let him know it even hurts after hollering out Al. Trots right to the bag. Where to get him here?
Good place to get hit on the leg. It doesn't feel good, but boy, I tell you, I could pick 20 spots and it hurts 15 times worse than that.
Now, you catchers wear it a little bit better than everybody else, too. You're somewhat used to that.
You never get used to that. Never, ever, ever. Pain is pain.
You should see the stern look I just got up here, by the way, folks. If only there was a camera to see that stern look.
Yeah.
Felt like the principal was giving me that speech.
Well, I mean, you get used to it. How do you get used to getting hit?
There's the lack of compassion towards the catcher. As I just said, that without compassion.
I tell you what, I'm going to give you a perfect example of the lack of compassion as soon as we get a foul ball.
0-1 the count to Jeff Blum, who doubled in his first start of the year as a Diamondback. Into the dirt it goes.
When the catcher blocks the ball and keeps it in front of him with the man on third base, do you hear applause?
No, you don't.
Okay. Rest my case. They say, oh, man, he could have scored. And he would have scored if he hadn't blocked it. Hey, one of my favorite writers was the late Jim Murray of the Los Angeles Times. He said catching is the Cinderella position of baseball. You're a scrub woman and you're on your knees almost all the time. And he's right.
Montero on first. Over the outside. Our Nissan key to the game. It's interesting we'd have this conversation because it's, well, simply put, as Montero's at first and he's been belted, you're up here defending him. It's hug a catcher.
That'd be nice.
Hug a catcher.
Or just say hello when you see a catcher. Just say, hey, man, just want to say hello.
The 1-2. He went around into the dirt. That catcher makes a nice play. Let's listen to Miguel Montero before the game, speaking of how much it means to learn when that other catcher comes down, Mr. Garagiola. Here's Miggy.
And it means a lot. Actually, if he doesn't find me, I try to find him. You know, we had always a little chat about whatever, you know, about baseball. And he helps a lot, you know. We talk about early about throwing too many times to the bases, kind of helped me a lot, kind of shut it down, make me shut down the error throwings, and you know, he's just, I just love to talk to him.
You're gonna make me cry.
Now, we surprised him with that, folks, by the way. That stern look I got earlier is softened up now. 1-0 the count.
He does look for me, and I look for him. I just love talking to him because he's got that one thing that you can't buy by looking in the yellow pages, and that's enthusiasm.
He's on first after being hit by a pitch. Blum with a strikeout. Brandon Allen with a 3-run homer in his first at bat. Just looks at that one sailing low. 2-0 the count.
If that had been a pitcher got hit where Montero got hit, it'd have been an MRI and a press conference.
Oh, absolutely. The golf carts would have been out.
All out. That's right.
3 jackets being brought to him.
No question about it.
2-0 the count. Outside. Not interested. That's that patience we spoke of that he showed in Reno.
He just looked down at his third base coach, too, with 3 balls and no strikes. The way he hit that one the last time, he may just get the green light.
Well, you never know with Kirk Gibson's squad. Taking that one, sinking away. And this is why, by the way, our Chaz Roberts air conditioning, cool play. Real short to the ball, wasn't it?
Oh, quick.
And again, in their previous 5 games, Dodgers pitching had given up 1 earned run. High drive again. This one well struck to center field. Kemp going back to the trap. He's got a room.
That's what they call a big league out. I mean, he got most of it.
He just missed it, didn't he?
Oh, there it is. Now watch. He got it on that fat part of the bat, and he thought it might go. Oh, what a nice swing.
Now looking forward to seeing this young man and how he handles this opportunity, because he is going to be given the opportunity here in the middle of a pennant race.
Easy to understand why when you hit him as far and as hard as he hits the ball.
Here's Gerardo Parra. Right back to the box. It's knocked down by Kuroda. Stumbles a bit, recovers, and makes a nice play to end the inning. I'm told by tomorrow it may be a national holiday, of course, National Hug a Catcher Day. and 20 stolen bases. We also think it's his mentor, a guy who this year has really taken Matt Kemp under his wing. Lopes, as a young man, was a free spirit and at times tough. I mean, just tough, and got molded in by Walter Alston, another good leader, certainly Dodgers manager, but that's your answer.
He was also part of that Dodger team that almost came up together, you might say.
Yeah, the Garvey, Lopes, Russell, Say infield. They played together for, more than a decade. 0-1 the count. And he is a guy that, obviously a lot of our fans watching tonight were brought up, especially if they're longtime Valley residents, on Dodgers baseball before the Diamondbacks were born. Because it's the man sitting next to us in the broadcast booth who brought games onto the radio when you listen to baseball here in the Valley. And Vin Scully called the game, and he, talking about guys like Davey Lopes, taught us the game in the Valley.
I worked with Vin a couple years. It was a delight. He's got a great sense of humor. Got some set of pipes to it, huh?
From above. I mean, they're truly a voice from above.
Ian can be wild. He has 8 wild pitches. 3-1.
You want to talk about being humbled, as that one is inside. He draws the walk, sitting between 2 Hall of Famers here. You want to talk about being humbled? That would be me.
Oh, no.
Well, each and every time we work together, I am. But on a night in which he is in the booth next door. Remember, while folks in Arizona were listening to him teach baseball, he taught me baseball. I was a Southern Californian growing up. He talked about my father's exploits.
He runs pretty well, but
he's got enough notes all the time. He comes prepared, man. He comes prepared. He's a worker.
Pitch is high for Kennedy. To Uribe, 1-0 the count. Well, for the longest time in the unique setting, as you worked with him, you guys worked as colleagues, as broadcast partners. He has worked a solo show for a majority of his career.
Well, I think he's been working 60 years.
Big swing back to the screen it goes. Began his career as a Brooklyn Dodgers broadcaster.
Oh, they had some broadcasters. Red Barber, him. What was it? Connie Desmond.
1-1 the count.
Kennedy continues to impress.
And right now he would be seeking something that he doesn't get a ton of. He has rolled up 9 double plays this year. And Uribe, he'd be hard pressed to get him on the ground. He drops that back shoulder like he's on the first tee of a golf course. That would have been the pitch for a ground ball. Good pitch. 1-2 the count.
I just always am amazed the way the catchers can catch the ball and just show the umpire the top of the glove.
Looked like he went around. You betcha. That is strike 3. Boy, what a bounce back from Kennedy's. In a hole, 2-1, and just like that, he's got an out. There's a curveball here. And Miguel did a nice job there. And you continue to be right about Laz Diaz. He has not stopped moving the entire game behind the plate.
He's one of those umpires, hands are going and he motions to the pitcher. You saw in between innings where he made the hitter, come on, get in the batter's box, trying to speed up the game.
Big swing, that's a souvenir. Up into the upper deck, and it bounces all the way down back below.
Boy, he's taking a good look at his third base coach. It's a 3-1 ball game with a man on first.
Another foul ball as that one rattles around, and again down below our CenturyLink high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. Hiroki Kuroda and Ian Kennedy both touching 93 miles an hour. 0-2 the count. Well, what a pitch, a fastball in, but he might not be rewarded for making that pitch. Bora comes up with it, will throw behind the runner, always making things interesting. So a Texas leaguer there, fought off by Navarro.
He really jammed him with that pitch.
Oh.
And Drew thought he had a chance to make the play, but as you can see, it dropped. Just barely fair, so to speak. And Pirate Boy, I tell you, he's looking around. Whoa, I got a chance at second base, and he made it close.
So now looking for a bunt defensively by the Diamondbacks.
They don't want to let this guy swing. If he hits a ground ball, Diamondbacks are out of the inning. Here they come charging.
Drops down a beautiful bunt. Ian with a nice play, ended up throwing it sidearm to make the play. I tell you, for Kuroda, you couldn't have done any better. That's just his second sacrifice this year, which is surprising because he looks like he could do it in his sleep.
And he put a good spin on that bunt. I mean, to where it hit the grass and kind of drove back. Look at that. And watch it just kind of lay there and see you. That was a good bunt. Only play was at first base, and the only guy that could make the play was Kennedy. They teach you to bunt by saying, just think you got a glove in your hand rather than a bat and catch the ball.
Because with the bat, then you'd stab at it, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Poke
you'd
at the ball.
stab at it and look like you're cooking hot dogs or something. But if you just catch it.
1-0 the count to Tony Gwynn Jr., of course, son of Hall of Fame outfielder Tony Gwynn, longtime Padre. And this is a young man that is very proud of his game. Timely hitting has been something that he has done very well this year. Proud of his name as well, as that one is inside. Gwynn said as he made it to the big leagues, he said, I'm not the son of a former player who wants to get away from his dad. He said, I love my identity. I love the fact he was good. I love talking about him. I love talking with him. If I happen to have the same name, that's more than fine with me.
That's great to hear.
Outside, 3-0 the count.
His father had that big scare with cancer on tobacco, and when they said, well, they weren't sure it was attached to it, he just flat out came out and said, the tumor came where I was putting the tobacco. That's what caused it. And as Vince Scully was telling me before the game that he's doing okay.
He's on the mend.
He's on the mend. He's coaching. He's doing some of the broadcasts, and that's good to hear.
3-1 the count. Well, on this next road trip, well, for all of you viewers, and you'll be one of those viewers, we'll catch up with Tony Gwynn. Dad. And
hope so.
Check in with him.
Good guy. Good guy. And knows how to hit. Still knows how to hit.
Got to get his son out now, though.
Key pitch right here.
Well, the bases are loaded. Stayed up and away, and Gwynn disinterested. As we mentioned earlier, he really started slowly this year. He's been on the move ever since. So for Kennedy, here in the fifth inning, pitch count not a big concern. He's at 76, but the bases are loaded. And welcome to the turning point in the game.
And in a spot like this, McGarrow is just trying to set him. Montero is just going to settle him down. Hey, just pitch the way you've been pitching, will be all right. They know what they want to do, and it's up to Kennedy to execute it.
Furcal has struck out, popped to short. He's taken big swings, extra base hit swings. When he's dangerous, he's a line drive hitter. Up and in. And Armangle dropping low. He almost pushed it uphill. 1-0 the count. Loaded up of Dodgers. There's Miles, there's Navarro, there's Gwynn. With Furcal hitting. High. 2-0 the count. Can't get the ball down where he wants it to.
He's lost his control of that fastball, which was almost perfect in opening the game.
Walked Miles to start the inning off. The second walk of the inning was that to Gwynn. Those were the first walks in the ball game. Hitters count 2-0. Right down the middle. He found it there.
What he's got to do is throw strikes. No place to put them.
And he's got Ethier and Kemp just buzzing around right now. They both wait. High, a cut fastball again, guiding that ball in. 3-1 the count.
Here's a big pitch right here. You're the manager now, like Mattingly is. You let him hit, or do you make him take? Because he's wild. Big pitch.
The 3-1 is ball forward. He walked in a run.
He'll have a visit from his pitching coach, I'm sure. Somebody's got to go out there. Here he comes.
3 walks in the inning, and this is uncharacteristic of Ian Kennedy. And this is a guy that in his career has walked about 3 per 9, let alone 3 per inning. And everything up. We'll walk you through this pitch by pitch, Joe, and folks at home. It was one really effective pitch the whole time.
That's the pitch that got him in trouble. You see, everything is high, fastball high. There's a pitch that looked like a strike, high again. He just lost it. The only way you could say it, and what you try to do is break the mood.
Laz Diaz jogs out to the mound and says, break it up, boys. Let's go back to work, trying to keep that pace going. Well, now for Gibson, it's reach for the roll age time because here is Ethier and Kemp. First up, Ethier. Base is full. He's flied to left. He's flied to center. Last time the center struck it well. Good pitch inside corner, 0-1.
Tell you, he pitched himself right into a jam with the 2 best hitters on the ball club, Ethier and Kemp.
Just below 290 career with the bases loaded. A pair of grand slam home runs. In cut fastball. He's made 2 great pitches. It's as if he left his body for a moment. Now he's back.
He got that ball inside in good shape. If he hits it, he doesn't do anything with it. Now he can set up a pitch if he wants to, which I think he will. And maybe the 1 ball 2 strike pitch would be the out pitch. Let's see.
Fastball in, popped it up. Kennedy gets out of the mess, and you don't think that a visit from the pitching coach can make a difference? It's like a different guy arrived on the mound. Casinos Kachinko works, and there's a winner every time. Just head on out to section 111 during regular season home games. As we've mentioned, it's fun to play. Go check it out when you come on out. Our good friends and partners with Gila River Casinos. Well, Ian Kennedy has returned and gotten back inside of his uniform, and he leads it off.
It's funny how I can leave you like that. I don't know what the pitching coach said, but whatever he said worked.
Be curious to know.
Yeah.
Tell you folks tomorrow when we speak with Mr. Nagy in the morning or after the ball game. I'm very curious to know.
You know, you used an expression, they walked in lockstep in spring training. I heard a great description of a manager and a coach. He's really a mechanic, and he works on people. And that's right. That's what he did there. The pitching coach went out, tightened a few screws, turned him loose, and got out of it.
Yeah, because once the car is running, the mechanic has really no place.
No place at all. If it runs smoothly, fine. If it's not running smoothly, he goes out there and he fixes it.
Funny you would say that, because to take it one step further, in that analogy, which is a great analogy, and I'd never heard that, a mechanic can go into a finely tuned car that is in perfect shape and mess it up.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Which has happened, which is not the case with this staff.
Not with what's happened.
Strike three. Kennedy is done. He goes down on strike, so he will get a chance to cool down. Meantime, part of the story of this ball game has been Kuroda's ability to, after what looked like might be kind of a knockdown, drag-out outing for him, to piece it together very quietly while his team creeps back into the game.
It's a one-run game. 3-2 is the score. 5 hits for the Diamondbacks and 3 for the Dodgers. Tremendous home run.
Kelly Johnson takes a fastball that is inside. Well, from July of last year until now, Kuroda has made 32 starts. That's essentially a season, 32 starts. His ERA is below 3 at 2.98. And a beach ball, the Dodger fans have made their way here. But his run support, that's why he's 10-16 with that great ERA. His run support is just about the same as his ERA. Just a little over 3. Only Mr. Pelfrey in New York has a lower run support in that time. That pitch is low. Well, we've got some good news for you out of San Diego. I mean, we like to pass along good news, and we can thank Orlando Hudson for hitting a 3-run home run. The Padres lead the Giants 7-0. Top of the 4th inning.
I tell you, jump on the bandwagon. It's going to be like this until the end of the season. You'll be looking at that scoreboard and checking what the Giants are doing and this guy's doing.
It's fun when that happens.
Oh, love it.
Tough night for Barry Zito, by the way. Starting pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. Corey Lubke pitching very well for San Diego. Broke his bat on the ground. In the outfield grass, ranging to his left, is Aaron Miles. Scoots on over and makes the play. Hey, don't forget, take the Diamondbacks wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Diamondbacks game on demand on your computer. Visit dbacks.com for details. It's MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. And it is really everywhere. It's one of those situations where baseball's ahead of the curve in presenting their games, whether it's on your television, your computer, your iPad. So find it and check it out. Here's Stephen Drew. Drew did have a double in the 3rd, and that was a good thing. Trying to stretch it into a triple, not as good.
That was a bad thing.
That was a bad thing. That pitch is high. I think when you struggle and you're trying to find your way and you're not hitting as you think you should, it's challenging sometimes. When you get out there in the base patch, you want to make it all up at once.
That's right. You want to get 4 hits every 2 times at bat.
Into the dirt it goes. 1-2 the count.
Tell you, he's hung in there, Mr. Kuroda.
Swing and a miss, and down goes Drew. 1, 2, 3. I'll say he's hung in there. And because of that, it's a tight one. Score. Arizona on top of the visiting Los Angeles Dodgers. You agree with Joe Garagiola, you folks at home. Probably a wise move. Kia Motors presents our text poll. You think that the Dodgers finance do have an effect on the players? About 2/3 of you say that they agree with you.
I'm surprised it's that close, to tell you the truth, because they can't pick up the paper or turn on television or radio and not hear about it.
Well, no matter what your job is, and I know they're protected by a union and a very powerful union, but when your boss is questioning if he can make payroll just about every pay period, that's got to be discussed.
Especially with all the zeros attached to the numbers they put on those checks.
Here's Matt Kemp. Lets it travel deep, and in the end, he was beaten by that fastball. You could see his thought. His thought was, I'm driving this out to right, but a little bit of dart at the end tied him up. And it's rare that you see him handcuffed this season. Justin makes the play.
Watch his arms as he swings. He sees it well. He pulls him in, and there he goes. He's going to right field all the way. Hit the first pitch. He doesn't normally do that,
No.
I don't think.
No, he doesn't. Now, he is, and obviously Dodger Stadium's a pitcher's ballpark, but Kemp has been a silly hitter on the road. He hits .352 on the road this year. That includes San Francisco and San Diego. Backlegging it, high fly, easy chance for Chris Young. Well, whoever took Ian Kennedy for a while has returned him, because this is what we've gotten used to seeing.
Looks like a different guy. Pitchers are a very finely tuned instrument, and there's the mechanic right there.
2 outs for Aaron Miles.
He's got to throw a strike here, Darren. He's got to be taking 3 pitches.
And it's a little bit low.
He got the bonus pitch, but he wasn't able to take advantage of it.
Late. 1-1 the count. Same 2 teams tomorrow. We'll have all the action for you on Fox Sports Arizona. Better yet, come on down to the ballpark. Los Angeles Dodgers and Ted Lilly against the Arizona Diamondbacks and Daniel Hudson. Inside with a fastball that he ran in. And Lilly looking on from the Dodgers dugout. The 2-1. Another fastball in on his knuckles. Lilly with an ERA up above what we're used to seeing for the veteran left-hander, nearly 5. And Daniel Hudson will try again to earn his 10th win of the year. He's had some tough luck along the way and some short outings on that last road trip as well. On the ground into center field. Picked on a changeup that time like he knew it was coming. And I say that because when you stay back on a pitch like that and don't pull it, I think you guessed right.
And with 2 strikes, to be guessing, that's dangerous territory. That guy's a pretty good hitter. He's hit everywhere he went.
It's perfectly said. I mean, he really has. And he's traveled quite a bit. The White Sox, the Rockies, the Cardinals, the Cubs. Another trip back to the Cardinals. Middle round draft pick out of high school, 19th round pick in '95. So he's been at it for a while. He and his teammate Jamie Carroll, I should say, very similar players. There's always a fear with Uribe because as Carroll looks on, kind of the glue in that locker room is Jamie. Because he swings for it every time, there's always the fear that he may run into one. That time on top of it, and Blum goes to work, fires it on. Nice play, Jeff Blum. Inning comes to an end. And if you get a ground ball out of the big swinging Uribe to end it. On the evening, Matt Kemp, he was eating early with a home run, his 24th in the year. LA grabbed the lead, but right back came the Diamondbacks, hammering the baseball. Jeff Blum, good to see him back in front of that man, Brandon Allen. A 3-run home run, 3-1 was the score at that point. And then Ian Kennedy with a bases-loaded walk, and that occurred just couple of innings ago in the 5th. We are now in the bottom half of inning number 6, and that's where we stand. The key part of the story is that you saw the bomb off the bat of Brandon Allen. Good to have him back. But Ian Kennedy and Hiroki Kuroda settled right down. He hasn't walked anyway. He's had a nice game.
Both with 6 strikeouts, 5 hits given up by Kuroda and 4 by Kennedy. It's been we've seen a tremendous home run, a couple of them, and yet it's been a pitcher's duel.
Kuroda, the 36-year-old right-hander, born in Osaka, Japan, who signed as a free agent. Diamondbacks had some interest in him before they traded for Dan Herron the very same winter. He signed with the Dodgers as a free agent. Heading into the 08 season, and Upton takes a sinking fastball. And if you're just joining us, there's been a big back and forth mentally between Kuroda and Upton. A lot of soft stuff in the first at bat. All fastballs in the second at bat. He's gotten them both times. A 2-0 breaking ball, 2-1.
And then he's been pitching to the outside part of the plate, making it look like a strike just off the plate, and Upton was called out the last time, but struck out the first time. Swinging.
Nearly got the corner there. 3-1 the count. So this is what makes this game fun, folks. Is he actually going to throw a 3-1 breaking ball to Upton here? Let's see.
I don't think he'll give him the fastball because Justin's looking for it.
He threw him an off-speed pitch on 3-1. Had him out front. He did. Wow. Very interesting, the back and forth that these two have had tonight, and every battle has been won by Kuroda. Introducing Fox Sports Game Connect, the ultimate online experience for fans. Log on to take part in the most interactive forum during D-backs games. Stats, trends, exclusive analysis, and live Twitter feeds, I am told. Plus, you can share your thoughts with the game broadcast. It's Fox Sports Game Connect, now available on foxsportsarizona.com. Well, a heavy sinking fastball, 94 with dive on it. The other guy who has been messed with tonight, to use a simple playground term, has been this man by Kuroda. He's up for 2 and has him thinking as well. Chris Young. Breaking ball away.
He's up and down, he's in and out. It's not how hard you throw, it's how much movement you have on the pitch. He's got Upton thinking, and now he's got Young thinking.
Oh, and 2 the count with 1 away. Tried to get him to bite.
Oh, he laid it right out there. That was a pitch that looks like a strike and it's not. But Young laid off. Oh, he started to go. You can see that bat. He had the finger on the trigger.
And he did that time. He did that time. So Upton and Young are combined 0 for 6 against Kuroda. They have been struck out 4 times. And the funny thing about Justin, he's breathing heavy over there. It's not because of the run he just took on a fly out. First this. It's because that heart's pounding over there, still kind of playing the at-bat through.
Oh, he's thinking about it. You know he is.
Into the dirt it goes. Now Miguel Montero singled and scored in front of the Allen home run back in the 2nd inning.
Hit that hot shot up the middle. Use the middle part of the ballpark.
That time tried to pull it. Rivera flips to Kuroda. My things are awfully quiet around that Diamondbacks bat rack. And awfully frustrated as well.
By the score of 3-2. Jody Jackson just above the dugout here with Andrew Sutton. Literally, Andrew, you are the biggest Diamondbacks fan in the world that I know. A season ticket holder from Hatfield, England. And this has been a dream for you, right? You're a PE teacher from England, 26 years old when you found out the All-Star game was coming, and you've loved the Diamondbacks since '99. You've set this all in motion, right?
To come out here, I had to get a flight and come out here and see it all. And today's been just a culmination of such an amazing trip. I need to say thank you to Derek Hall for sorting me out with these tickets, and I've just had an amazing day. I've been shown around the ballpark by Joel Albers. We even got to go onto the field for batting practice, and I couldn't express any words to say how I felt and what I was thinking, and it was amazing. So what a great trip. Thank you very much. The Diamondbacks are the best team in the world, and what a great place to come and spend a day and watch a great team play.
And no relation to Darren Sutton, as we had the first out of this inning. But you know what? I wanted to talk to you, Andrew. It's a big league name, absolutely. Darren wants to share that. But you know what, Andrew, it's been fun following you around. It's part of our 10th inning show, along with Josh Colemunter's trip back to Homer, Michigan with Todd Walsh, and with Kirk Gibson and Alan Trammell going back to Detroit. And Andrew was just honored to be part of that show. But it's so much fun because the passion that you feel for the Diamondbacks. You became a fan in 1999 when you came here on a family trip, right?
I came on vacation in '99 and came and saw a game. And immediately fell in love with it. I can remember walking in and seeing the diamond from the third base side, and saw the grass and the seats and the stands, and it immediately just struck a chord in my heart, and I loved it. And I've come back a few years since, and as soon as I found out that I could come back for the All-Star game, I made it a trip that I had to do, and I'm here, and I don't care how much money it's cost me. Today's just been worth it. It's been great.
Andrew, it's been fabulous meeting you. And you know what, guys, really, true fan, all the All-Star Game festivities. He was here for the game, the Home Run Derby. He said today, being on the field for batting practice, watching his Diamondbacks, he touched the dirt. It's been the best part for him. So, Andrew, finally, I know you love Ryan Roberts this year. What he's done, I got a Tatman shirt here for you. Parting gift.
Thank you. I got my ball from the All-Star Game signed by Kirk Gibson and Miguel Montero. So I just need to get Jay up to sign it, and I've got the set, so I'm a happy bunny. Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate it.
All right, back up to the booth, guys. And he is the Drew85. I know he's spoken to @DBack's booth on Twitter, so.
That's great. Well, thank you, Jody. And congratulations to Mr. Sutton for realizing a dream. We all remember this man. We hardly got to say hello to him again. Trent Olchen, Australian, who was a Diamondback for a brief time back in 2009. As a matter of fact, had a huge start to his Major League debut in his Diamondbacks career. He's done, though, on a strikeout.
I think our friend from England should cheer up a little bit.
Seems kind of down in the dumps, you're saying.
He was down, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really seems upset.
Well, he was really excited. It's great. Just great when they get that excited.
Kennedy's working like you like if you're Kirk Gibson and Charles Nagy. But we saw Kuroda a moment ago. He really pieced things together nicely.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And it was not a Scotch tape job. He just went out there and took charge.
Meantime, Ian, let's see. Pitch number 100 right now is a breaking ball that nearly nicked him. That one sails inside. Remember Trent Olchen, folks? Do you remember that? I mean, he went 12 for his first 25 at bats as a Diamondback. As that one is inside. Hit homers. He had 19 marriage proposals after each homer sailed out. They loved him here. He's still around the game, and good for him. Had a great perspective and a good attitude. In on the hands, line drive, center field. Well, Gwynn has been pesky Gwynn tonight. Pesky like his dad was every night. He's walked a big part of that fifth inning with a patient walk to load the bases. Now he's single. And you got to keep an eye on him now.
Oh, absolutely. You got to think, well, for Carl is up there, he'll give him a chance to at least take one swing, you would think. And then he wants to run. He can run and will run.
Got Sam Demmel, the right-hander, Joe Patterson, the left-hander, and their Saturday Blacks warming in the bullpen. This ball game's a story because Kuroda in innings 1, 2, and 3 had given up 5 hits, 3 runs, and thrown 54 pitches. Kuroda in innings 4, 5, and 6 didn't give up any hits, didn't give up any runs, and threw only 37 pitches. Ian, meantime, with regard to pitch counting, just a little bit over 100.
Well, you know he wants to run. A stealer will not move until the pitcher makes a move, but a runner will break at any time. So let's see if he's a stealer or a runner.
Into the catcher's mitt it goes, and so the count is 0-1 on Furcal.
Well, I think the guy's out there ready to drop the flag, Darren, because he got the one swing, didn't hit it, and Mr. Gwynn at first base is anxious to get going. Big lead.
Didn't go. Pitches up.
Well, Montero's got him diving back because throwing to first base like he does it many times, he doesn't get him, but what it does is cut down the lead, and they'll talk about that in the clubhouse. 1 ball, 1 strike. You got to watch him. Kennedy may just hold that ball and freeze him if he can. Well, I tell you, there's no pitch out on. They want a pitch out, they got to do it now.
Kennedy does a nice job really squelching attempts, but when they attempt it, they've been safe. 4 attempted, which is a low total. All 4 have stolen. Not going. Pitches high. 2-1 the count. And here he goes again, diving into that mess of getting in trouble in front of Ethier and Kemp.
2 balls and 1 strike is really a manager's delight as we look at pitching coach Nagy. They like to run on 2-1.
Not going. Outside corner.
Took 2 giant strides. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is when it's a great game, man. When you got to worry about the runner, the hitter, defense.
This is his final batter. Should he get him, he'll head back into that dugout. If not, they'll go to the pen. We'll do it again, 2-2 the count. Because my guess is he's got Patterson ready, locked and loaded for Ethier. Only a guess from up here, though.
Well, I'd agree with you, Darren. You're not going to catch him sleeping. Gibson's on top of everything. Madeline's calling the shots. Gibson the defense.
A couple of great baseball names in the 80s, huh, folks? Managing against one another tonight. A couple of winners. The 2-2. High underneath the pickoff throw, and he's back in time. Miguel trying to lower that error total. He has 10 throwing errors, but he had the confidence and the accuracy there.
I'll tell you, that's one of those plays where you have a signal. I don't know. Next time I see Miguel, I'll ask him. But where the first baseman will say, "I'll be there." He'll give you a sign, and that means if you get the ball, throw it. I'll be there. It's hard to put on a play.
Runner now goes, and the at-bat rolls on. It's a foul ball into the second deck. Count full, 2 outs. Gwynn will go again.
And he didn't just look and, I'm going to go to second base and nonchalantly go in there. He took a head-first slide. It's a big part of this game right here.
This is it for Kennedy. Crowd gets behind him. The 3-2 runner going high. Fly right field. Upton going back. He's got room. Kennedy with 7 strong innings tonight will wrap up his night clinging to a 3-2 lead on top of the Dodgers. The bullpen, it's on you now.
By CenturyLink, Todd Walsh, Joe Borowski. Joe, someone we know wrote a book called Baseball is a Funny Game, and it's funny. Brandon Allen last night comes up with the game on the line, does not deliver early in the game with a chance to change the complexion of it. He delivers. That's what Joe Garagiola was talking about, right?
What a difference a day makes. He got an opportunity in that second inning, hit a huge 3-run bomb, making the most of the second opportunity he's getting.
We'll break that down. Have you read that book, by the way?
No, I have not.
You should.
Sorry, Joe.
Guys, we'll send it back to you. Who are you?
Well, Joe and Joe will talk in the post-game show, and I would imagine not only the author will speak with him, but the two analysts will talk with one another about this man's night, Ian Kennedy.
Oh, he's had an up and down night, but I tell you, mostly up. And when he had to come through, he came through.
Scott Elbert, a veteran really of going back and forth between the big leagues and the minor leagues, goes to work. Kennedy, that was it, by the way. That was his final batter. High fly, switch hitter Blum flips around and bats right-handed against the left-handed pitcher Elbert. So Blum doubled and scored. He has struck out and now flied to left field. Our APS Energy All-Star, well, it's got to be this man. What'd you think of this, Joe Garagiola?
I mean, he crushed it. You can see the reaction on the bench, and I tell you, he ran it like he's hit the home runs and knows what to do and how to run the bases. He didn't stop to look at it, and he didn't trot around the bases, just got back to home as quickly as he could.
And he has to deal with the left-handed pitcher now in Elbert. Again, a perennial prospect. 21st appearance on the year. He's only gotten half of the first batters, but he got the first batter a moment ago. 0-2 the count. Came back for a second tour of duty through the Arizona Fall League this past winter. Just got a big arm, just hasn't equaled consistent success in the major leagues. Breaking ball pulled that one. Love it. Running hard through the bag, but he is erased.
That's one thing you notice about these Diamondback runners. They don't run to the bag, they run through it. They're running full speed.
There's a line of men sitting on that front bench that otherwise have something to say to you. And you know what's happening now? It's not just Gibson and Williams and Trammell. What's happening now is there are teammates, veterans that will say something to you, and that's when you know you've evolved.
That's when you know you got a ball club, you got a team. And to use Gibson's words, you're going to go out and try to get that thing.
A lot of baseball to be played, but it looks as if there is a game to be gained tonight so far, because San Diego is steamrolling San Francisco. 8-1 is the score of that game now. That game's in the top of the 6th inning in San Diego. Bunts that one, good idea, but he bunts it foul. Barry Zito ended up in that ball game going 3 2/3 for the San Francisco Giants and allowing 8 runs. So Zito had a tough night. You can send a thank you card to Orlando Hudson, who hit a 3-run homer. See why they like him. He's got a good arm, got a big arm. Arizona starting play today, 4 games ahead of the team in second place. Behind them, or I should say third place overall, that's Colorado, and 4.5 behind San Francisco. Pulls it on the ground. That's a foul ball. Rockies, by the way, are beating the Brewers 3-0. That game's in the bottom of the 4th inning. Milwaukee was trying to figure out how they'd use their new closer. And Francisco Rodriguez is a setup man with John Axford. They haven't won any games yet. That's strike 3. Boy, I tell you, the Dodgers and their pitching staff, outside of the home run by Allen, have absolutely locked up the Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats with no blackout dates. Kia Motors. To learn more, visit phxkia.com. CenturyLink Quest, becoming CenturyLink. Your link begins here. Find out more at CenturyLink.com. 25-year-old left-hander Joe Patterson takes the rock and he rules. Goes to work this year for the 39th time. And the first pitch is in at the knees of Andre Ethier. Joe with an ERA just below 4. A left-handed specialist, so only 20 2/3 innings of work to go along with those 38 appearances. Pours a fastball in that grabs the outside corner.
Boy, I tell you, as a left-hand batter, Ethier really has his work cut out for him, because when you sidearm that much, it's like you're throwing from behind the first base coach.
1-2, the count to Ethier.
Boy, I'll say this for Patterson. He's pitching like he's double parked out there, and the police are starting to write a ticket. He doesn't waste any time.
An awkward swing. Patterson. He might have just done his job. Let's see. I think he did. He was in to get Ethier. Gibson says thank you very much. The left-handed specialist is special. And that's why Kirk Gibson, Kevin Towers, by the way, tip of the cap to Towers in grabbing this young man over the wintertime in the Rule 5 draft. Otherwise, he would have been a Giants minor leaguer, the very team as a Diamondback he's trying to help his team chase. A couple of right-handers in succession. Matt Kemp pictured Juan Rivera in front of your shot. And a 3-2 game, looking to use his bullpen and lock it down, as he talked about yesterday. Now Demmel comes on for the 27th time. Missed about 5 weeks with a shoulder problem, but has come back and has kept that ERA down below 2. It sinks, it slides, it moves everywhere, simply put. And when he's right, it's ground balls when he gets outs.
And they'll be thinking about the previous bats for Kemp. Last time up, hit the first pitch, if you remember. It got him out with the pitch inside, and then he hit a home run for one of the runs that the Dodgers have. So it'll be a battle right here. And Montero, you can bet me, boy, everything that Kemp has done up until now is right out front.
And he is the owner of the offense as far as this lineup is concerned for the Dodgers. The one guy you cannot let beat you is in the box right now. Infield plays in the pull, outfield deep and the other way. Interesting, we talked about that. Luis Gonzalez mentioned that last night, that you will see an infield go one way, you'll see an outfield go the other way, and that's exactly what they've done.
Locks him up with a cut fastball. 1-1.
And just to add a line to what you said about going one way and the other way for the infield and outfield, you have to make sure the pitcher knows what's going on, because he's got to make that batter hit where the defense is stacked.
Great point. As you watch Demmel execute, and you will see at times, like you said, a spot completely missed, and it'll cost you. Rivera waits on deck. Samuel Vincent Demmel deals it. Curveball misses outside. 2-1 the count.
When you come to the ballpark and you worry about defense, take a look at the center fielder. He'll usually key on how they're going to set up the defense. Young is playing. There's a pretty good idea of where Young is playing. Look where he is.
Swing and a miss over the top of a fastball that dove away from him. 2-2.
That's why the closers become so important. Ball game is right here. As you mentioned, Darren, power hitter, best hitter.
Look at Montero decoy Kemp. Breaking ball, fly ball. He's strong. It's well struck, but he couldn't put all of it into it. 2 outs in the inning. Now walk us through these pitches, Mr. Garagiola.
Not so much going through the pitches. What he made him do was hit that ball. He was outside with that one. Outside part of the plate for a strike. Outside again. Misses on the ball outside. And outside again where he couldn't drive it. He was not going to give him a ball he can handle and pull. And that's why the defense was stacked to right field. They were giving him the left center field slot. And Demmel did exactly what he wanted to do, and they got the big out.
Good stuff, Joe. Now Juan Rivera digs in with 2 outs. Swing and a miss over the top of a curveball. 0-1. Rivera, the one-time Angel, Yankee, and this year Toronto Blue Jay, is 0 for 3. He's a brand new Dodger. Homered last night in his Dodgers debut. Chops that one foul, so now the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Here's where you got to be extra careful. If you're going to waste a pitch, be sure you know where it's going to go, and if you're going to waste it, pitch away from him. Stay away from danger. It's something that they take from the golfers. Stay away from the water.
Defensively, the Diamondbacks set up just about the same as they did with Kemp. Bouncing ball, foul ball.
You got away with that one, boys.
Oh.
Yes, sir. He thought he had his pitch, and he did. Juan Rivera, look where this pitch is. Right down the middle.
Oh, my goodness.
He couldn't have called room service and got a better pitch.
Well, if he does bounce it, Miguel's got to put his nose on it and block it up behind the plate. The 0-2. He did, and he did.
He knew exactly what he was going to do. You could see he was ready to shift, and he wasn't going to one-hand that one. Because if he doesn't catch that ball cleanly and hits the ground, he's got to throw him out at first base.
He doesn't use his body as much as most catchers, but he certainly did there, didn't he?
Oh, he had that on his mind.
1-2 the count. 4 outs to get in this ball game. Now 3 outs to get. Well, the bullpen managed and executed to perfection that inning. Gibson went to Patterson. He got the out. Then he went to Demmel. He got a pair.
Clinging to it on Saturday, August the 6th. The first 15,000 fans take home the Kirk Gibson bobblehead. KTAR brings it to you. Pick up the Grand Slam giveaway pack, and you'll get the Gibby bobblehead, the CY bobblehead, and the man who's hitting now, the Ryan Roberts bobblehead. 602-462-4786. Online, dbacks.com/Grand Slam. Thank you, Ryan. I wasn't done with the read yet. He steps out. Now we're ready to go. Ryan Roberts to lead it off. He comes on to pinch hit, and he was in the middle of it again last night, wasn't he?
You know, I was talking to him before the game, and I said, boy, you've really been patient lately. He said, yeah, I got away from it, but I'm back to where I was. I'm patient. Base on balls can do a lot.
Inside corner, he singled in the 5th, walked in the 7th, part of that 4-run 7th inning, and then walked again in the 9th inning.
I'll tell you, if they want to give you that gift certificate, take it. There's no defense against a walk. Especially in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Wow.
Well, what does it mean if you're Roberts? As that one, he didn't much like the call, 1 and 2. It means that he's hitting .258, but with the patience and the walks, his on-base percentage is 90 points higher than that.
Can you imagine that?
And like the rest of his team, he's a good hitter late in the ball game. They all kind of reflect those numbers. Pitches high, 2 and 2.
You know, when you get a lot of pitches, you show, you know, from the opposing pitcher, your ball club gets a chance to look at what the pitcher's got. Is his fastball good? Is a big break on the curveball? How about his changeup? Can he control it?
Popped up and over our heads, that one goes. Where it's a souvenir, 2 and 2 the count. Out of the University of Texas at Arlington. Did Ralph Kelso get that ball, by the way, up above? David Hernandez is warming in the pen.
Gave it to the little girl over there.
Nice job, Ralphie. I'm not surprised. Our high home camera operator. Well done. That's a souvenir, Ralphie. Very generous of you. Bet she's as big of a fan of Baxter as you are up there. President of the D. Baxter fan club up there, Ralph Kelso. 3 and 2 the count. Big swing, pops that one up. Looked like Albert, to steal a phrase from you, fed off that time the greed of Roberts. Just had him out front of a breaking ball.
That's what he did.
Well, David Hernandez looks like he's locked and loaded. As J.J. Putz will throw tomorrow night, not in the big leagues. He will throw in rookie ball here locally. He'll just go out and throw in a Summer League, Arizona League game for the Diamondbacks rookie ball club. Kirk Gibson will make some decisions after that. He may throw one more time. So for now, it's David's job, and he's about to clock in. There's a big fellow looking on.
It's become a 6-inning game for most pitchers.
Charles Nagy and Kirk Gibson, they hope to get more. They expect more. And there are some pitchers in certain organizations that are brought up to kind of let the 6th inning be the finish line. The bullpen's there for you if you need it, but that man would love for you to go 7. He wouldn't care if you went 8.
No, but he's ready to go with a new guy on the 6th,
You're right.
7th, the 8th, the 9th. The name of the game is put a W on.
Into the catcher's minute goes. 1 and 2 the count. That really does, for as involved, as studied, and intense as Kirk Gibson is, it really is simplified by the word win.
Oh.
Swing and a miss, and down he goes. I guess I've probably had a chance to cover maybe 6 or 7 major league managers in my time. And I've never covered a manager. And when I say celebrate, I don't mean celebrate like, hey, let's all get together and make some noise and throw the pom-poms around and pop champagne corks, but internally celebrates the victory more than that man. I mean, it's true battle. He prepares each day as it's a battle, and then he has a real sense of satisfaction after a win. out front of a breaking ball. And if that man in the dugout is going to earn yet another victory and have that sense of satisfaction, he needs David Hernandez to get 3 big outs. Gibby and the Diamondbacks look to win this one. Ian Kennedy has done his part. Kennedy very strong and really had to almost crawl through that finish line in the end, but he did it. Hiroki Kuroda, he allowed a 3-run homer, but otherwise that literally was it. Because of Kuroda and Albert, the Dodgers are right here in this ball game.
Yes, sir.
Joe Patterson out of the pen, and also out of Joe Patterson, Sam Demmel.
I'll tell you, Darren, and the strikeouts that they got, both pitchers were clutch strikeouts. They had to have them. I mean, that last inning was, it's just been a real good ball game. And that's the kind of ball games you're going to see when you come out here to Chase Field, because this Diamondback club, I tell you, they got some pretty good arms, and they're trying to strengthen themselves even more. And today's pretty good proof of that.
Arizona's last hit was in the 3rd inning. They're looking to win a game in which they had their last hit in the 3rd inning.
And that was rubbed out. That was Drew trying to make a double into a triple.
First pitch swinging, fouls it up into the seats. Aaron Miles, since J.J. Putz went on the disabled list at the start of that long road trip before the break. Hernandez is 5 of 5 in save opportunities, hasn't allowed an earned run, and opponents are 0 for 14 against him. Lifted at the left field, coming on in to make the play. 1 out, Gerardo Park. Miles is erased. Hernandez is doing his work, and I would imagine anxious and excited about it, with his cousin in town and his dad visiting as well. His dad, who at a young age moved to Sacramento, California, where David was raised, and his dad, who, as he grew older, grew more firm in his love for the Dodgers. His dad and David, both huge Dodgers fans, as J.J. Putz looks on for his understudy, looking to back him up. But today, Hernandez not a Dodgers fan at all, nor is his dad.
Wonder why.
Loney pinch hits. James Loney at 266. Throughout his career has really enjoyed hitting against the Diamondbacks, but it's been a lower year offensively for James. Into the dirt it goes. Arizona has 18 wins in their 31-run games. That's 4th best in the game. Well, that didn't happen over the last few years.
No.
That's why that beard has a lot of salt along with the pepper in it. A lot of 1-run games. Outside, 3-0 the count.
Based on balls, he's got to stay away from it. Stay away from it.
Loney is hitting for Uribe here. High strike at the belt, 3-1.
Well, he was taken all the way, but he won't be taken all the way this time. If he likes it, he's going to come out of his shoes.
Helped him out. It looked good, though, so the count is 3-2. That was ball 4.
But it was the pitch he was looking for. Wasn't an off-speed pitch at all. Here we go.
Home crowd chants beat LA as the count is full on Loney. The right-hander rocks and fires, pops it up, and it's a souvenir into that crowd. To finish the thought on those 1-run wins, 18 of them this year. They had 19 all last season.
Wow. The defense for Loney is straight away. You could take a string and go from home plate to center field, and you'd run right into Chris Young.
Stay with us. We've got a lot to talk about after this ball game. And it's immediately followed. High pop-up. Easing back is Kelly Johnson. 2 outs in the ball game. Navarro now. As Arizona looks to return to their winning ways. They came up short 6-4 last night. They know San Diego is up by 6 right now on top of San Francisco in the 7th inning. Two and 0. Trying to defend their home turf a little bit more firmly in their last 16 home games. Arizona 6-10. Into the dirt. 3-0 the count to Navarro.
He overthrew that one. We're in the middle of a Maalox moment right now.
3-0. 3-1. A top stepper, certainly. We need to get back into that dugout. The 3-1 from David. Popped up. The count is now full. 1 strike to get for the Diamondbacks. David with the 3-2 pitch. Fastball, he ran around, and that's the ball game. All the way from England out here to Arizona. No matter where you're from, it's good to see Arizona, if you're a Diamondbacks fan, return to their winning ways. And the story tonight was simple. 1 swing of the bat and a whole bunch of good pitching.
I mean, the pitching was just sensational. Did he go around? You know he did.
Andrew Sutton traveled to live a dream and come to the All-Star game, a Diamondbacks fan from England. Now, there's plenty of Diamondbacks fans here in Arizona that say, hey, if that man traveled all the way from England to see this, why don't you hop in your car and come on down the freeway and check this out, because this is becoming quite a show at Chase Field.
I tell you, when you win a ball game like this, you're so pumped up going into that clubhouse, you're just going to be talking to anybody who stops you. It was a tremendous ball game. It showed what this ball club is made of. They didn't get a base hit from the third inning on, and in the third inning it was Drew hit a double out trying to make it a triple. So the last big hit, of course, was a 3-run homer. The first big hit by Allen. What a ball game this has been.
Let's get to our post-game show. Congratulations to Ian Kennedy. He wins his 10th game of the year. Todd and Joe are ready to go. We'll be back with them right after the break.